Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Quintessence of Leadership. I'm turning my light up a little bit because I'm looking a little washed out, so I need to make sure I'm present here. And today I am joined by the amazing Dr. Esther Graham. But don't worry, she's paying attention. What she's doing is she's looking at her LinkedIn because she wants to be able to share this when this goes live, because you know LinkedIn is always a little delayed. So we are excited to be here with you, though. This is just a delightful conversation we're looking to have today. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my dear friend, Dr. Esther Graham. So she is a master neurofacilitator. I mean, I love that part about her, but even more, she is an educator of many years. She is a serial entrepreneur. She owns multiple early childhood education centers. That means that she's working with our children at their youngest stages to really create levels of learning, not just daycare. Nothing wrong with daycare, but this is really childhood education. So she's really working with the minds, the brains of our young people, soon to be our young leaders of the world. And she is a minister, and she is just an amazing woman who believes in legacy. And that is where our hearts just connect on so many of these platforms of what she's doing around legacy, around love, around just taking things to its next level and making sure that we are all present and accounted for, right? And Dr. Esther, I do see it on my profile, so it's up, it's up. So if you go on, see if you can see it, so you can share it. I know what you're doing, so you can
Oh
share.
yeah.
Do see it. So, it is delayed. It's all good though. We are here. And today we're going to be talking about what does it look like to
hmm
really live your legacy and not just leave a legacy, right? We hear all the time, Dr. Graham, about always, oh, you want to leave a legacy, you want to leave a legacy, but you believe even bigger than that, right? It's about living
100%.
our legacy. So I want to turn the mic over to you a little bit. Hello, Jane. Thanks for joining us from Kenya. Wonderful. Hello. I want to talk a little bit about what does that mean to you? About first, what is legacy, right? Like let's level set that dialogue. And then what does it look like to live a legacy? So please take the floor, my dear sister.
So good afternoon, Alicia. Good afternoon, everyone that's listening. Hello, Chanela. And who did you say, Jane? So I took my glasses off, y'all, because there's a glare. But when you see me putting it on, that's because I need to read. And as Alicia said earlier, my head was down because I'm trying to make sure that we share
Yes.
everything. Because it's such an important conversation. And thank you for the wonderful introduction. You make me sound so good. So thank you.
You
Thank
are
you.
amazing.
Legacy, it's been a conversation that's been coming up quite a bit. I'm going to say, I want to say within the last year, but even longer, but especially within the last year, as time is changing and we're moving and we're growing and we're doing so many different things. And many times, for me, when we think about legacy, we're thinking about what are we leaving behind. I think about my wonderful parents who left me a long legacy, a standing
Mhm.
legacy, a strong legacy, and I'm not thinking just money here because many times we think of legacy is it's the money that
Mm.
we're leaving. Some people may think that it's money, what's that financial legacy that you're leaving? And not that money is not important, but it is not the most. We know that I think according to research and statistics, money is the lowest form of motivators. Like it'll
Yeah.
motivate us to a certain point, then after that, the motivation is gone. We really need something that's very internal.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And so, as with you, Alicia, I know that my parents left me a very strong legacy of faith,
Mm. Mm.
right? That is really my foundation to every single thing that I do.
Wow.
A legacy of building relationships, of ensuring that your soul, you know, is well. And for me, that's where legacy begins. Legacy is ensuring that what my children see and my grandloves will hear about is the life that I have lived. This is once I'm gone, the life that I've lived.
Yes.
Also, what I'm doing now. Legacy is really living.
Mm.
Legacy isn't dying.
Yes. Thank you for that.
It's
Yes.
it's it's living. Many
Yeah.
times we think, legacy is, well, when I die, I'm leaving this, I'm leaving that, I'm leaving that. But when I think about my parents, I think about the legacy while they were living, while they were building, while they
Yes.
were creating, while they were
Yes.
serving. That
Yes.
left a living legacy for me that I could grasp a hold to. And
Mm.
then when they left this earth and when they transitioned, they left even a stronger legacy of faith, something even to where I could look back and say, I remember when I saw them do this.
Mm. Mm.
I remember when they spoke this into me. That's
Mm.
legacy as well. So
Mm.
it's leaving something that's lasting.
Yes.
Legacy is something that never dies. It goes
Yes.
on and it goes on and it goes on
Mm.
and it goes on.
Mm. Mm.
What we have to look at is what does it look like for us? So they left me a legacy here.
Yeah.
And now I have to take that and I've got to take that legacy to the next level.
Yes. Yes.
Does that make
Yes.
sense?
It does. It does.
So
And I want
legacy
to, I,
grows.
and I love that. And I want to just level set this piece too for those that are joining us now. And thank you, Shanilla, for
Yeah.
sharing with us what legacy means to you. You know, Dr. Graham, you are from Guyana originally,
Mhm.
right? So you are actually your legacy, your lived legacy, right? Living legacy and
Living.
leaving legacy are really very multifaceted
Yeah.
because of where your roots are from. And I want to make sure that others understand that right, legacy, like you said, it's not about just the money. It's about what has been instilled in you, what's been poured into you, like your parents. And so I want to talk a little bit about the roots of your legacy, our parents, right, of your parents. Can you tell us a little bit about that legacy that has now been passed to you that you are expanding onto, and what does it look like with what you're doing with the baton in your hand at this time?
Yeah, that's a great question. So,
Mm.
my family, we're from Guyana. We're from Guyana, South America. And so my mother has always been an entrepreneur. My mother, and I never realized it till one day I'm sitting, I'm saying, oh my God, I'm walking in my mother's footsteps. She was a serial entrepreneur.
Wow.
She was an educator, had a school, right?
Mhm.
She was a seamstress. And she was a baker. She used to bake things and sew. So all of our clothes growing up, she used to sew, right?
Wow.
She had her business to where she would bake things and sell it and do all of these different things. And so she had several businesses. And my
Mm.
father, of course, was in ministry.
Mm.
And my father pastored several churches in Guyana, in different parts of Guyana at the
Mhm.
same time. So I remember like he would, service would be in one area and then he'd have to travel to another area. And so in ministry, my family traveled and moved quite a bit
Mm.
because of ministry to wherever the location was going to be. I remember we lived in Suriname for a while. As a matter of fact, two of my brothers, one sister was born in Suriname, which is
Wow.
at that time it was called Dutch Guyana, and now the
Mm.
name is Suriname. And then, of course, in the rest of us, we're born in Guyana at that time, British Guyana, right? And so they moved all over prior to coming to the United States. When they came to the United States, they came on the mission field to the United States, right? And
Mhm.
it was the church that saw what my father and my mother was doing in Guyana, right? We're Guyanese, and brought them over to America. And so in America, my father went into ministry fully here. And then, of course, my mother once again started her business.
Wow.
And so she started early childhood centers and even went into private school. And I believe there was a total of five, four in Missouri, and then one was in New York. And so wherever we went, one of the things my mom always did was start an education center, because she, at the core of her heart, was an educator. And
Mhm.
everything we did, we grew up in a very strict education environment. We had to carry ourselves a certain way, make sure that we're speaking properly, all of these different things. And so in that, when you're thinking about legacy, they left such a strong legacy of
Mhm.
education that where
Mhm.
education was paramount.
Yes.
I would tell my children sometimes, I said, for us, education wasn't a choice. We had to. We
Mhm.
didn't get to choose. It was, no, you're doing this,
Mhm.
you know, and faith was not a choice.
Ooh, come
I
on.
think they taught us. They never forced it on us, but they were very strict with this is what you believe in. So they left us a strong legacy of education and faith coupled together.
Mm. Come on. Ooh, that is so powerful.
You know,
And just even what you're talking about with how what your father did in ministry and how your mother was in education and
yeah,
how all of those factors have
yeah,
melded within you for the mantle that you walk in on this earth. I
yeah,
mean, it's even more prevalent to me now. Like I'm hearing it and
yeah,
I'm go my mind is going because I know you very intimately and
yeah,
just seeing how you are truly living and expanding the
yeah,
legacy that
yeah.
was instilled with you because of your strong faith. I know your faith muscle because your faith has stepped in where my faith has given out before. So
Yeah,
I'm grateful for your faith muscle because you have demonstrated to me what strong faith can do, right?
yeah. And Alicia, I've really been thinking about this quite a bit with my parents and what they've left. And as I'm growing, I mean, one of the things that I knew when my father transitioned, I literally, and I know this, I'm not trying to sound spooky, scary, or spooky spiritual or anything like that, but I knew that when he transitioned, I literally felt that day that they closed the mausoleum. I
Mm,
really felt like if um the baton just fell on me.
yeah,
Like it was this was
yeah,
something that I had to do. And while there were areas there were some things I did not want to do. I'm not gonna,
mm,
it was like, I don't want to do this.
yeah.
But there was a calling inside. And the same with my mom. She lived 20 years after my dad,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
always working and talking to me and demonstrating to me business.
mm,
This is how you do this, Esther. This is how you build this, Esther. This is how, and I watched,
yeah,
and even if she wasn't speaking it to me, my parents, I watched. I
yes,
watched that journey. I
yeah,
watched that resilience that even after my father left, that she continued
mm,
in business and in ministry and doing all of these things. And they were always servant leaders.
mhm,
They served, and they served from their overflow.
wow,
You know, I watched closed hands the journey that they went through, especially when we came to the United States. I am the youngest of seven, and then we came to the United States. Then my parents adopted my little brother,
mhm, mhm,
right? And so, because they're just always serving, they always want to see people rise to
yeah,
their best in everything, not just in their spiritual life, but in every
yes,
area of their lives. And that
right,
is what they walked in, that is what they taught. And what I realized, that it just really went very deep for me.
right,
That
right,
at times when I just feel like say, okay, I'm done,
yeah, yeah.
I'm I joke, I say, I just want to go sit on the beach.
Right, I'm coming with you.
I know, right? Let's just go sit on the beach and
Yes,
do nothing. It's hard to do that
yeah,
when you have a call on your life, and
yeah,
when your call is just not the spiritual, but it's in every area. It's business. It's in leadership.
woo, come on, come on. You just
You know,
segued into what was on my spirit, so I already know.
yeah,
So I love that you said that, right? Because first I want to highlight a few things. You said that it was demonstrated, not just spoken
demonstrate,
about by your parents. What
demonstrated.
we must understand as leaders is we have to demonstrate desired behavior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We demonstrate desired behavior. We
That's it.
don't just give it lip service. So I love how your parents, you said it, how your parents, they showed it. They walked it, they talked it, they lived it. So
Mhm.
you knew what it looked like and you could take it further. Because as
Yes.
parents, Esther, we want our kids to go further. We want, like you want
We
your
want
grandlove
we
to
want
go further than you. So I want to talk about, oh, I just love how you just brought that right there where I was even thinking. How do you today, because this conversation is about all facets of life, right?
Mhm.
Yes, we operate in business, we operate in operations, we talk about scaling, marketing, all those things. At the
Mhm.
end of the day, we are our business too. We are leaders within
Uh,
our organizations. How does this conversation of legacy, how do you demonstrate this in your life? You can talk about it, how you do it in your business. You can talk about it, how you decide on things that you say yes to, you say no to, things you create. How does your lived legacy continue to show up and amplify in your life today?
yeah. Great question again. Really, it continues because I look at what I'm in, what's aligns with me,
Okay.
on the
Mm,
inside. And so that's really important for me. And it's getting even more and more important that if
mhm.
I'm in alignment
Yeah.
with what's going on, then I
Mm,
can lean into it. But if I'm
mm,
not in alignment, I cannot. And so
yeah.
I often talk about where my mind, my mindset, and my heart set needs to be
Mm,
in alignment. And if there's conflict, if one is saying yes, the other is saying no, then there's conflict.
yes.
And
Yes.
so I have to then go in and discover, why is there conflict? Why is one saying yes, one saying no? Both have to be in alignment. And
Mm,
so in whether it's in my business, and I've done within the past 2 years, and I've
yes.
done a lot of transformation, a lot of changes
Yes.
in my brick and mortar businesses.
Yes.
And I really had to sit back and take a look at what's working, what's not working, what's in alignment.
Mm, mm,
What's in alignment?
yeah.
What am I really doing here that's really purposeful, and not just, oh, let me scale this, let me do this, let me do that. What's purposeful? What lives are being changed here? How
Mm.
Here's this. What's the impact I'm making?
The impact report.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I discovered it's not just it's in all of my businesses. It is in my leadership. What's
Mm,
the impact of leadership am I making first in my home? In
mm,
myself, in my home, with my children, with my family, with my grandloves before it comes out,
yeah. Yeah. Ooh, wow. Wow.
and in my life overall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hope I'm answering.
You
um
are. You are. And my mind is going. So
yeah,
yes.
and so it's just really, and again, it's like I've I've just really been thinking in my quiet moments.
Mm,
I've been thinking about all of this,
yeah.
because the one thing I don't want to do, first of all, I want to be a living legacy.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to serve from my overflow. And I want to serve from the deepest level.
Yeah.
I want to see lives change. But it first begins with what I'm doing internally,
Yes.
right?
Like you said, the mindset and the heart set, they must align.
They must align.
Mm,
And
mm,
then what I'm doing within my family.
okay.
I believe that the first thing that we're all called to do as leaders is to first look at ourselves as leaders and how are we changing. And then we look at our family. And then we go out into the community and then into the world. But it
Yeah.
first start, sometimes we want to go out in the world, we want to change the world, but wait a minute.
Mm, yeah.
Mm,
I
Where
love
are
that.
we here? Where are we
That's
here?
wonderful.
And
That's
then our
wonderful.
community. What's the impact that you're making?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
and I want to talk about that a little bit because you did recently go out into the world.
yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about that, like, because that's a part of your living legacy. Like you,
Mhm.
and it just, it's so interesting how it all tied into education, early childhood, ministry. It like brought all parts of you.
Everything. I
Yeah.
know, it was amazing, right? I was like,
Right?
oh my God. Every time I
Yeah.
think about that, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful.
Tell us
Thank you.
more.
So Of course, Alicia, we were in Africa together. So let me tell you my story with Africa, right?
There you
In
go.
2017. So again, this is coming from my parents, right? This is
Mm.
coming from my parents. Just uh being a philanthropist, being
Yeah,
on the mission, serving people who may not have the opportunities that you may have.
that's right.
Right. And so
Mhm.
it comes from that. And so I've always had a desire. Like I tell, there's a book that's been in my heart for years that I think it's time for me to write
Mm.
it. It's called Great is Your Faithfulness, and
Mm.
dedicated to my parents and the
Yeah.
work they've done. And the book will go out to serve in the mission field. And because it talks about how we go out and we serve. So my parents have always did that. So in 2017, I'm looking at I'll just say, I won't say the show's name. I don't know if I
Okay.
was looking at a show. Okay, it's
Mhm.
the Today Show, and I absolutely love it. And I see this beautiful young woman on International Day of the Girl. So I'm very international. I love, like my company's name is from International Women's Day, International Day of the Girl. I've done activities, empowerment activities to empower young girls
Mm.
and empower women to
Yes.
walk in their greatness, that power that they have within them that sometimes they don't even know that they have. And
Yes.
I'm looking at this young lady who at that point started this Girl Up Initiative Uganda program. And she's on there on the Today Show on International Day of the Girl, which I believe is October 11th. It's coming up.
Oh, it's coming
It's
up.
coming up. It's coming up. And she's on the Today Show with Michelle Obama and Jenna Bush, and she's being interviewed. And then she has a couple of girls with her from what she has done from her program, because she knew where she was and what she needed. And when she
Mm.
got her education, when she was blessed to get her education, she went back to her country and she
Yes.
began to pull up other girls. I mean,
Mm.
it is a phenomenal story. And I sat there and I was just looking, and I knew then, I felt in my soul
Mm.
that I was going to some way, somehow be a part of that program. I was going to meet her, and this is what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Just to be. And I didn't know how. And after that, the day continues because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm building my business, doing 150 zillion things like many of us do as leaders, right?
Yes.
As
Yes.
leaders, you
Yes.
know, and fast forward, Alicia invites me to an event. And I'm saying, and I'm going to make this really short. I'm saying, oh, Alicia, I'm way too busy. I can't go. She said, Esther, you really need to be at this event, blah, blah. And she's telling me. And I said, okay, I'm going to go because I'm going to go support you. You're my friend. I'm going to go and support you at this event. And she just kept telling me, you got to come. You have to meet the curator of this event. You got to do this. So I go. And I basically said, okay, Alicia, I'm going because of you. I am going to support you.
Amen.
I will be there. I will take your picture while you're speaking. I'll video. That's why. Do you
I
remember?
love it.
I
Hey, keep it
really
real.
it was, and I went. And I'm gonna tell you, I went, and the next day, of course, the event was phenomenal. And the next day, Alicia's speaking. She's done. I do all my, and I'm meeting all these people, and I'm in the mode of, I'm there for Alicia. I'm not thinking anything else. The event is wonderful. I met the curator of the event. She's phenomenal, and we're doing all these things. And then
Hmm.
this young lady gets up to speak. And I began to look and I said, why does she sound familiar? Why does she look familiar? I'm listening to the story. So I take a picture of her and I send it to my husband. I said, who is this? We know her. I've seen her, but and he looks and he said, this is the young lady from the Today Show. When she began to, I said, oh my God, this is this woman.
Mm.
Who does
Mm.
this? Isn't circumstance this is the divine. This is God.
Yes.
This is God putting it all together, putting you in the path. This is the importance, by the way, of following the plan, of leaning into legacy, leaning into a living legacy, and knowing what you are called and just walking in that unapologetically,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I lean in. I said, wow. So afterwards, thank God it was a beautifully small room.
Yes. Yes. Lovely intimacy.
It was
Mm.
lovely intimacy. And I
Mm.
walked up and I introduced myself. I waited for everybody to move from her. And then I walked up and I said, and I introduced myself and we began to talk and I told her the story. And from since then the next day, what did we do, Alicia? We had breakfast together.
Breakfast together.
Having breakfast. Now, at that time, I just knew about the girls program, Girl Up
Mm.
Initiative Uganda. She begins to say how her desire, she started a child care center, an early child care center, because the women need to have a place to leave their children safely so they can go to work. And there was none available to them.
Mm.
So she asked her mother to take a part of the house and turn it into a child care center.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
believe she had just started it,
Yes. Correct.
right?
Correct.
I said, how are you doing it? I said, how did you have teachers? Yes, I have teachers. How are you paying the teachers? Are you paying them? I pay them from my salary that I make. I just give to them. And I said, oh my God. I said, this is God, because I'm an educator, y'all.
Right.
You know, I'm an early childhood educator. I was a professor. I, designed, implemented early childhood center, lab schools, early childhood center. I've worked for Head Start, worked for one of the most wonderful Telemon Corporation, which is a fantastic corporation. I did all of the work for the federal government, all of these things in early childhood. I was a
Mm.
trainer. I was this, you name it. I did it in early childhood.
Mm.
Perfect. And so from that point, 2023 to this year, 2025, going to Uganda to visit and seeing the Girl Up Initiative program, going as partners, going
Yes.
as a philanthropy partnership. Did I say
Yeah.
that right?
You did. You
Yeah.
did.
The
You did.
most life-changing experience ever.
Ever.
All of that to bring it to this.
And
This
that's
is legacy.
living because you're
Living,
living.
living legacy. I'm
Mm.
living it. Living it.
Ah,
Never did I think that I would be there. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even have a desire to go to Africa. John and I have been invited to Africa several times,
yes.
but we've never felt the calling to go.
Yes.
But this time it was different.
It was.
And, we'll always, before we make a decision, we'll pray about it and see if this is what we should be doing, because we have to be in alignment.
Correct.
It's important. And so, oh yeah, heart and
Mhm.
mind, heart,
Mhm.
13 inches from the heart and the mind. It has got to, there's a
Mhm.
reason. There's got to be an alignment. And so we went there. And Alicia, you were there. We were there
Yeah.
together. It
Wow.
was so life-changing, life-giving. It
Yes.
was life-giving.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
as we were there to see what, let's say, where how further our partnership can go and what we were doing. We were at the camp, and then we went to
Yeah.
the childhood center, and we did several other things that was outside of that
Right.
to see where can we give back and how can we partner more.
Right.
And while we were there for that, they were also pouring into us.
Oh my goodness. Mm. Mm. It
See, the
was.
thing about legacy, because even what they're doing, not just Monica and her phenomenal team, but the 300 girls
Mm.
that were there at the Big Sister
Mm.
camp, they were also creating legacy for
Yes.
their families when they returned to their village. Because if
Yes.
you get one girl, pouring into that one girl, meeting the needs of that one girl, ensuring that they could go to school and they have what they need, can go back, and now they can begin to change a village. They
Yes.
begin to change the family. And then
Yes.
from the family, the village, the community. Just one leader it takes. Just one, y'all, just one. This
Yes.
is leadership in motion. This is legacy in motion.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And so
Ah,
while we as adults come over, we were over there, we're creating a living legacy. They are as well.
exactly.
And that's what's so
Exactly.
powerful.
It was so
Yeah,
powerful, and I thank
yeah,
you for that because I
yeah.
believe it's very important for, we can hear it, but to really hear you talk about the process, right? From 2017 to
Yeah.
seeing Monica on the Today Show, to being in person, to saying yes to opportunity, to allowing yourself, albeit busy, right? Because we're all busy,
We're
right?
all busy.
Albeit busy, you still were, you knew, you're like, okay, Alicia, I'm going to come for you. Okay, you say I need to be here, trusting
Yeah,
me and the space, and
yeah.
then see how it has continued to lend itself to the legacy that, quite honestly, started from mom and dad, and
Yeah.
now is to Esther. And now we'll just keep going through Esther's children, through Esther's grandloves, right? But we are all living it and we get to experience it while alive.
Wow.
So
Right.
as, I just love that. So as we're wrapping up, Esther, what are you creating now that where you're having these conversations, right? Where you are supporting others in walking in their lived legacy as well. I know there's something really close on the horizon. Tell us about it.
So my next live event, yeah, is coming up in October. As a matter of fact, it's next week. I believe we're 9 or 8 days away. What's today?
Mhm.
Wednesday.
Today's
So
Wednesday.
yeah,
Mhm.
so we're 8 days away. And so, we've curated an environment for leaders.
Yes.
Leaders who are high achievers, and they're ready to be in action. They're ready to become, if they're not already doing it, they're
Yeah.
ready to become a living legacy. And if they are, they're ready to take it to that next level in
Mm,
business, in
mm,
leadership, and in
mm.
life as a whole. It's just not, they're ready to make a serious impact. See, everything
Yeah.
we got to make an impact,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're ready for that. So your Nexus now is next week. It's in Wilmington, Delaware. We start the Thursday night for the VIP.
Yep.
All day Friday on the 10th is the general admission. That night we've got, we like to
Get a little dance.
like and to celebrate us as leaders, because
Yes.
that's what my company was built on. We're celebrating where we are as leaders. And so we've got a guest speaker for that evening, dance and leaders. And then of course on the Saturday morning, we're back with the VIPs. And so we're going from scaling and building your business to personal development to
Yes.
living legacy. And all of
Mm,
the women that are in the room, I personally picked them
mm.
for what they bring, for their leadership, for
Yes.
what they've created in their business and in their life as a whole, for the impact that they're creating.
Love that.
And so I'm
Love that.
super excited about it. And this is what's really good, Alicia. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm listening.
We heard the cry of everybody that if you cannot be in Delaware, we have
Mhm.
live stream.
Woo! Say that again. So if you cannot be present,
Cannot be present. We have added live stream. Now, y'all are thinking, is Alicia? No, she already had a committed
I
event.
can't. I'm so disappointed.
I know, right? Because we talked about it's like she's like, oh, I can't believe I can't be there. Yeah, she had because we had to change the days. What life
Hey,
happens, and you had to
life
change the
happens.
date,
We're
and
leaders.
she had a commitment. This is and so, but this is what's really great is that if you can't be in the house, and listen, registration will be closing soon, so you want to get in and register. And if you can't be personally there, that's the best way. But here's the second best way, or equally best, is that
There you go.
is live stream. So be there. Live stream will be all day on Friday. And so I'm
Yes.
super, super excited about it because of because there's going to be a little bit twist and a little bit difference in this one.
Yeah.
We're going in hard. We're going in. We're not going to let you stay wherever it is that you are. And you may be already, we're going to take you, if you're a high achiever, you're going to be a higher achiever.
That's it.
If you're making impact, you're going to see how you can make greater impact. In other words, this is the room for you. So I invite all of you to come and join me. I'm excited about it.
I
Yeah.
just dropped the link. That's what I was
Oh,
doing. I
great.
went I went to your profile really quickly and grabbed the link.
Oh, great. Thank
So
you. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
so if you can look at that, my friends that are joining us live and on the replay, you can read through it. There is the live stream opportunity as well if you cannot make it, in person. But if
Yeah.
you're ready to be in different rooms, if you're ready to have different conversations, meet new people, create new opportunities for yourself, learn more about yourself, right? Learn more about, ooh, okay, I didn't know that, then definitely take a look at this. Like I said, I put the link you can see I highlighted it here, and I put the link into the comments. So definitely, definitely check it out. Yeah,
Can I add one more thing, y'all?
of course.
So, I think I put up a post that I was on 3 continents, but the last continent I was in the Caribbean. I was at Alicia's leadership retreat, just once again supporting her with whatever it is that she needed done. And a room of powerful leaders
Mm,
creating, building, and living their legacy.
that's it.
That was the room that was there at
Yeah,
your retreat.
yeah.
That's the room, ladies. Those are the type of rooms that we want to be in.
Yes.
Rooms that empower you and feed into you, pour into you. Rooms that are not competitive, but they're
Mm,
supportive. They're supportive. It was a great
yes.
room. Just
Yes.
wanted to mention, it was a great room. Those
Mm,
are the type of rooms that we want to be in all the time, 24/7.
that's it.
Thank you so much for the
Thank
opportunity.
you. And Dr. Graham, as we are leaving, I want you to think of one thing you want to leave with our listeners. But I want to say this first: the time is now.
Mhm.
The world is in pain, my friends. And we are the aspirin. Whatever your lane is that you're called to operate in, there is no time to tarry. The time is now.
Yeah, the
Your
time is
next is now. So, Dr. Graham, as we are wrapping up, what is the final thought you'd like to leave our listeners with?
the final thought is Joan Baez says action is the antidote for despair. But here's the question, as someone, when we were talking the other day, said, but what end is the action? In other words, what
Mm,
action to what end? What type of action will you be taking?
mm,
What's your action?
yeah.
Your
I want,
next is now. Yeah. So as
mm,
you're saying, because we could be busy, but it's nothing. What's your
yeah.
action? And so that's the thought. That's what I would like to leave with the leaders, because we're always
Mm.
busy. What's the action you're taking?
Thank you, Dr. Graham. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us,
Me.
Dr. Graham. Thank you, listeners, live and replay. Yeah, just such a great conversation. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Alicia Houston, your business advisor,
Yes.
signing off with the amazing Dr. Graham. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Do you have some thoughts, comments, questions as well? Drop them below. I'd love to hear them and actually respond to you as well. Don't forget to hit that little bell that you see because it'll notify you next time any new opportunities are posted to this channel. So, thank you again. And until next time, remember, continue to build trust to transform, whether it's transforming your community, your home, your business, your workplace, your voice is required. Looking forward to seeing you then. Bye.